Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, March 23rd. So we have the moon in Capricorn energy here all day. Of course, we just had the last quarter moon pop off in Capricorn energy here yesterday. So it definitely puts us in a little bit more of a grounded, anchored energy. We're definitely in our physical bodies, definitely aware of our physical circumstances, especially where limitations and restrictions are concerned. Yes, this is giving us a stabilizing energy, especially in comparison to this new fire energy that we're in now that we are in Aries season. However, we are definitely focused here today on getting our shit together. We got to get organized. We are looking back and realizing what it is that we got to let go of, what we got to get rid of, because it is blocking the progress in us building something better, building something new. And so that Capricorn energy definitely has us a little bit more serious, more somber than normal, because again, we have to tap into a new level of discipline. We have to get, again, organized between our thoughts and our emotions before we can take action on the plans that we need to be piecing together as well. There are 12 different aspects popping off here today. 11 of those aspects are going to involve the moon. The moon in Capricorn going to make a beautiful interaction with its ruler, Saturn, who of course is in Pisces energy, and this is definitely going to help us get organized, especially where our emotions are concerned. We have been bouncing all over the place. Of course, we just transitioned into this new astrological calendar. We are in Aries season, so the fire energy has ants in our pants, but of course we can't take action and make moves until we have a plan put into place. So this is going to give us, again, a more serious and somber approach to what needs to be done, that to-do list, what needs to be removed, released, close the door upon before we can start building towards new goals, visions, and dreams. We then have the moon in Capricorn making a very uncomfortable interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, who is in Gemini energy. Now, this is likely due to the fact that the earlier interaction with Saturn put us in a situation to realize what needs to be done, but now we're getting a little bit overwhelmed with it all. Jupiter tends to magnify, turn the volume all the way up on whatever it is that we're thinking, whatever it is that we're feeling, and because he's in Gemini energy, there's a flip-flopping going on. We're sitting on the fence. We're debating between particular thoughts, ideas, between plans, between paths and directions. And because of this, we're really kind of tapping into the negative narrative that sometimes happens when the moon is in Capricorn energy. Everything feels like it's a little bit too much. Everything feels like it's pressurized. And because of that, again, we're kind of looking at all of the things that has to get done before we can start kind of initiating a new path, a new direction towards all of the new that, of course, is very shiny, is very light and fluffy, that we're not allowed to touch as of yet until we clean up the mess of the past. The moon is then going to make a beautiful interaction with the North Node in Pisces, followed by Neptune in Pisces. This is definitely going to help us out a little bit because when Pisces and Capricorn energy works very well together, it means that we're tapping into our intuition, tapping into intuitive insight, which gives us a little bit of clarity and kind of renews our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, and more specifically, our faith. Now, the interaction with the North Node is trying to get us on the right path, trying to get us in alignment with a new mission, new goal, new purpose. And Neptune's influence is definitely going to restore our intuition, our faith, our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, and even more than that, the vision that we may have lost over the last couple of days. 3:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the one aspect taking place that does not involve the moon, and it's a pretty powerful one. The sun, now in Aries energy, is going to be sextiling, which is a beautiful interaction, with Pluto, the great transformer, who of course is in Aquarius energy. This is a beautiful interaction because it kind of triggers and activates clarity, a download, an epiphany, a realization that is going to help us not only change the game, not only change our plans, but change our mood and our attitude for the better. This is breakthrough energy. This is likely going to reveal let's call it hidden truths that may be a little bit hard to swallow initially. However, we've been praying for clarity, and sometimes we have to learn the hard way what that clarity is all about. Either way, it's going to trigger or activate a new level of motivation, determination within us. And of course, Pluto's energy helps us to boss up, take control, take our power back. And that's exactly what we need to do at this particular point in time in order to hone in on what actually needs to be done. The moon in Capricorn then going to make a beautiful interaction with Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, who is retrograde in this Aries energy. And this is going to be a heart activation. This is definitely going to put us in a situation to realize where it is that we've had a major change of heart. We're having a major change in our self-worth. We're realizing what we want, what we need, what we desire, and what we need to do to get it. Now, we just had this particular Venus and Sun conjunction here yesterday, which is the 2-degree Aries star point that we've been waiting for in Venus's retrograde, which means that we're kind of not in the breakdown phase of her retrograde. We're in the building up phase. We're in the breakthrough phase. And there's going to be some excitement. There's going to be a realization of new passions, new wants, needs, desires. And the moon being in Capricorn energy gives us a grounded, practical, logical approach on how it is that we are going to do just that, how we're going to pursue a new path, how we're going to align with what it is that we want to build and create and bring to life. And it is going to require a little bit of a, I'm going to say, tough situationship, because of course there's a lot of people, places, and things that we're no longer attached to, that we're going to have to officially detach from in order to pursue this new path, this new direction. The moon is then going to make a beautiful interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings. Of course, we had a tough interaction with Mr. Jupiter earlier on in the day. This one is a good one. We are gaining the clarity. We are gaining the confidence. He is putting us in a situation to see the forest past the trees. He's helping to magnify, turn the volume all the way up on a thought, on an idea, on a path, on a direction that seems favorable. And especially kind of feeding off the energy that we just had with Venus, we're kind of fueling our heart space. We're seeing where it is that we have the option and opportunity for growth, for evolvement, and we are getting down to the nitty-gritty in our headspace on what needs to be done in order to actually pursue it and bring it to life. 7:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Capricorn is going to sit across from, directly oppose Mars. Mars being the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire. Of course, he's still in Cancer energy. Cancer energy, Capricorn energy sit across from each other in the zodiac wheel. And of course, this opposition is going to bring up the anger, the frustration. Why? Well, because, Mars is now in his rulership that we are in Aries season, but he can't take action and make moves. Why? Well, first of all, he's in Cancer energy, so we're kind of stabilizing, building up our inner realm of emotion. And of course, we are in eclipse season. And of course, Venus and Mercury are retrograde. So there's a lot more reflection. The actions in which we are allowed to take is about elimination and release, not really building and making progress in the areas, in the path, in the direction that we truly desire to see. And so this particular interaction going to bring out negative Nancy, going to bring out the ants in our pants, going to bring out the frustration, the anger, even maybe the resentment that we are currently feeling. But again, the heavier emotions, the heavier thoughts definitely are teaching us some valuable lessons on what we're actually passionate about, what we truly desire, and what we need to do to get a plan together so that when we're gifted with the green light go ahead, we know exactly what needs to be done. The moon is then going to make a beautiful interaction with the sun, of course, now in Aries energy. And anytime that the sun and the moon are coming together, there's going to be an aha moment. There's going to be an epiphany on what we want, what we need, what we desire, and what we need to do to get it. So again, the moon in Capricorn helping to ground us, thinking logically, thinking practically on what needs to be done. And of course, the sun shining very bright in this Aries energy wants to take action, wants to make moves, wants to initiate a brand new chapter. But there's a lot of junk, a lot of gunk still standing in the way of us being able to dive into something new. And so again, the epiphany here is what we actively want to pursue, what we definitely want to bring to life, but what we also need to do as far as endings and closures go to shut the door on the past, to kind of clean up the mess in aisle 5 so that we can really go ahead full speed when gifted the green light go ahead to do just that. 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Capricorn is getting into the boxing ring with Chiron, that wounded healer in Aries energy. So, of course, this is going to highlight where we're going through a couple of growing pains. This is going to trigger, activate a lot of old wounds, whether it be fears, doubts, insecurities, pain, trauma, doesn't matter. They need to come up to the surface of our awareness. We have to feel it in order to heal it. And in this particular point of the calendar, we are just in a brand new calendar, just initiating in these fire energies. We have to hurry up and wait because, of course, we have a lot of pause buttons pushed on us at this particular point in time. And we're really questioning ourselves. And of course, the whole part of, Venus's retrograde and with this particular aspect is to beat ourselves up, break ourselves down so that we can emerge on the other side of this as a more powerful version of self. The moon then goes ahead, makes a beautiful interaction with Mercury. Mercury, of course, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves. He is retrograde in this Aries energy. Now, the moon being our heart space and Mercury being our head space, they're working together. They're trying to get on the same page. Are we in alignment as of yet? No, probably not. Emotionally speaking, we're standing still. We're almost in a state of paralysis. We're not taking any action, making any moves until emotionally speaking, we feel confident enough to do so. And right now we're lacking a plan. Now, Mercury, on the other hand, he is in Aries energy. So there's a little bit of spiciness, a little bit of fire going on with some quick ideas, with some good ideas. But of course, he's retrograde. So this is about what we have to remove, what we have to eliminate, where we have to recalibrate, what we have to revise. And of course, between our heart and our head, we're trying to get in alignment. We're trying to recalibrate these inner realm energies, but there is a little bit of a gap. And so we're going to realize what that gap is, and we're going to actively try to kind of bridge that gap and get in alignment in our inner realm so that, again, when that green light goes ahead and tells us that we can move on and move forward, we know exactly what we have to execute upon. The last thing that we have going on here today, 11:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Capricorn energy is going to sextile, which is a beautiful interaction with Saturn. So Saturn, of course, rules over this Capricorn energy. He is in Pisces energy, again, really pushing us to deconstruct and dissolve the old version of self, the old realm and reality, the old structures, the old foundations that we had built with people, places, and things that, again, we've outgrown, that we're no longer resonating with. Now, this is definitely going to give us a little bit of a reality check, but it's coming in a very positive way, which means that we're seeing things very differently. We are understanding where we need to get our shit together, where we need to get organized. We're tapping into a new level of clarity, a new level of wisdom and knowledge. And because of that, we are pushing ourselves to kind of boss up, to do what needs to be done, to kind of persevere, to push through the hard parts in order for us to find ourselves in a space here very shortly where we can start building towards the new. So this particular interaction is going to help, again, kind of get a little bit of clarity in our inner realm, especially with what it is that we're feeling, and then put ourselves in a situation to kind of give ourselves permission to move into La La Land, figure out where it is that we would like to end up from here, and again, reverse engineer that, work our way back to the present moment for us to see what we have power and control over in the here and now so that we can start making small adjustments that eventually will have us aligned with the goal, the vision, the dream that we're eagerly awaiting to manifest.